Hello and welcome. My name is Shamsy Roomiani and I'm a multidisciplinary artist in Dallas, Texas. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to explore one of my favorite photographic processes, the cyanotype. It's a medium that blurs the line between science, art, and nature. And if you've ever wondered how to create a rich blue botanical print using only sunlight and water, you're in the right place. Whether you're completely new to cyanotypes or just curious about the process, this video will walk you through the fundamentals so you can begin creating your own prints. Before we get started, I always like to share a little bit about the history because I think understanding where a process comes from really makes creating with it even more meaningful. The cyanotype was invented in 1842 by Sir John Herschel as a way to reproduce notes and diagrams. But artists and botanists quickly recognized its creative potential. A year later, Anna Atkins used it to document algae, ferns, and other botanicals. And she created what is widely considered the first book illustrated entirely with photographs. One of the things I love most about cyanotypes is that the process invites collaboration with nature. The sun becomes your light source, the water completes the image, and the botanicals or objects leave behind their own unique signature. No two prints are alike, and that's part of the magic. So what exactly is a cyanotype? A cyanotype is an alternative photographic process, and instead of using a camera, you'll coat paper or another substrate with a light-sensitive solution made from 2 iron salts. Once the coated surface is dry, you'll arrange your objects on top of it and expose it to ultraviolet light, usually the sun. Where the sunlight reaches the coated surface, a chemical reaction starts, and wherever the object blocks the light, the area remains unexposed. After rinsing the print with water, the image transforms into the iconic deep Prussian blue. And this is actually where we get the term blueprint. It almost feels like we're watching a photograph appear by magic. You'll see. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know, from mixing the chemistry and coating the paper or substrates, choosing your botanicals or objects, creating layered compositions, and experimenting with other materials. One of my favorite things about this process is how forgiving it is. You don't need expensive equipment or a traditional darkroom. A little sunlight, a few simple materials, and the willingness to experiment are often all it takes. And don't worry if your prints aren't perfect. Every exposure teaches you something new. The weather changes, the angle of the sun changes, the moisture in the paper changes, and all those little variables become part of the artwork itself. Learning to embrace those surprises is one of the greatest things about this process. So gather your curiosity, embrace a little experimentation, and let's begin printing with sunlight. All right, let's get to it. Step 1, prepare your workspace. Choose a space where you can work comfortably and keep your materials organized. Cyanotype chemistry is light sensitive, so work away from direct sunlight while coating and arranging your prints. I like to start my work in a dark room or like in my garage, and I wear a headlamp with a red light, but you do not have to be that extra. Lay out your paper, brushes, and gloves and objects before you begin. Having everything ready will make the process much smoother. Before you start, gather your materials. Cyanotype chemistry or pre-coated cyanotype papers, paper or another absorbent surface, a brush, foam brush, or a sponge for coating. Gloves and protective eyewear are always a plus. A flat, light-safe drying area. Objects to print with, such as leaves, flowers, lace, or feathers, anything you can think of. Glass or acrylic to hold your composition flat. Access to sunlight or UV light. A tray or a sink for rinsing. And clean water. If you're using a 2-part cyanotype solution, mix the components according to the instructions that came with your kit or chemicals. Only prepare what you need for the session, since the solution works best when fresh. If you're using a premixed solution, Give it a gentle stir before applying it. If you're using a pre-coated paper, you can skip ahead and start gathering and arranging your items on the paper. So step 3, coat the paper. Using a brush or a foam brush or a sponge, apply an even layer of the cyanotype solution to your paper. Aim for a smooth, consistent coat, but don't worry about perfection. Slight brush marks can add character to the final print, and I actually prefer this. Once coated, place the paper in a dark, dry area and let it dry completely. The paper must be fully dry before exposure. I'm a little impatient, so I normally let it set and dry for about an hour or so, but you may choose to let it set and rest overnight. So the next step is to arrange your composition. After the paper is dry, I like to place it on a sturdy backing for support, like a mat board or a piece of wood, or just something that's nice and sturdy to give it support when you're transferring everything outside to expose it. Place your chosen objects on top of the coated surface. Leaves and flowers work especially well because their shapes leave a really beautiful silhouette and detail. Think about your composition as you arrange your objects. You can keep it simple with 1 or 2 focal points, or you can build a layered design with overlapping elements. If you want crisp edges, place a sheet of glass or acrylic over the arrangement to hold everything in place. Okay, so on to step 5, which is exposing your print to the light. Place your arranged print outside into direct sunlight or place it under a UV light source. Exposure times will vary depending on the strength of the light, the weather, the time of year, and then the paper you're using. As the print is exposed, the coated areas will begin to change color, and this chemical reaction is what creates the image. If you're unsure how long to expose your print, start with a shorter test exposure and adjust from there. Over time, you'll learn how your materials will respond. Basically, we're looking for the olive greens and blues to turn to a bronzy coloration. Once you see it get to this stage, you're ready to rinse. So step 6, rinse your print. Once the exposure is complete, bring your print inside and remove the objects from the paper. Then rinse the print in clean water. This is the moment when all the magic happens and the image transforms. As the unexposed chemistry washes away, the print develops its signature deep blue. You can rinse the print in a tray or a sink or a basin of water. Gently agitate it until the excess chemistry is removed and the image looks clearer. I always like to rinse for about 5 or so minutes. And then the next step is to let it dry. And you can do this by leaving it flat in a dark room, or you can even hang it up to dry. The blue tones will often deepen as the print dries, so don't worry if it looks a little light at first. An optional step is to use an accelerating solution that will quicken the oxidation process and turn the print into a rich dark blue. I like to use a splash of hydrogen peroxide and water, and then rinse. Once dry, your cyanotype is complete. So at this time, you can evaluate and experiment. Take a moment to look at your finished print. Notice the details, the contrast, and the shapes created by the objects you've used. If your first print isn't exactly what you were going for, that's completely normal. Every exposure teaches you something new, so just embrace it. Try adjusting your exposure time, experimenting with different botanicals, or using different types of papers or surfaces. Cyanotypes are wonderfully forgiving, and experimenting is part of the fun. So some tips for better cyanotypes. Use fresh chemistry for the strongest blues. Coat your paper evenly for a more consistent coat. Press objects flat with glass or acrylic for sharper details. Test different exposure times to find what works best with your material. You can also try printing on fabric, wood, stone, or other creative variations. You can even experiment with toning methods if you want to alter the blue color. So going beyond the basics, once you're comfortable with the process, you can start exploring some more advanced techniques. You might try layering multiple exposures combining cyanotypes with drawings or painting, or printing on unexpected surfaces like fabric, wood, and stone. You can even use printed transparencies to make an overlay on your paper. For drawing on transparencies or acetate for cyanotypes, you need opaque materials that block out the UV light well. So there you have it, a quick rundown of the cyanotype process. I hope you are inspired to try this out for yourself. Please follow me, Shamsy, and the Mesquite Art Center on Instagram for more art techniques and tutorials. Happy printing!